Hello and good
Recording
morning.
has started.
Okay. Hello and good morning to everyone. Today I welcome you to Group One's debate, wherein the main topic will be egoism versus altruism in a social contract. And this house believes that in a social contract, actions are based on egoism and are further dictated by one's personal gain. Additionally, the style being used in this debate is the modified Oregon Oxford. I am Isabella Bordo and I am the secretary of this debate. The judge is Emil Saige. Representing the affirmative side are its members: Kristen Langsam, the first speaker, Lance Rivera, the second speaker, and Andrea Marquez, the third speaker. On the opposing team, we have Lemuel Morelos, the first speaker, Lance Elioso, the second speaker, and Bernard Armachar as the third speaker. Before this debate begins, I would like to remind everyone that this debate lasts for 30 minutes, which means that every member from the opposing and the proposition team has 3 minutes to give their speech and 1 minute to give their rebuttal. After they have given their speech, the secretary will let them know how much time they have consumed, and if a member exceeds the time limit, the secretary has the right to stop them and proceed on to the next member. Thank you. I now call upon the first speaker to represent the affirmative side. The affirmative side. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Hello, I am Kristen Lansang, the first speaker to the affirmative side. So to start, for Hobbes, social contracts are forged between people that are social contracts are forged between people are but principles built upon self-preservation. So Hobbes said that human life in essence is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. So shows that human beings, as rationally self-interested creatures, will agree into social contracts precisely because they align to their self-interest. So they will follow a set of rules only if they believe that they stand a good chance of benefiting themselves through receiving security and other benefits. Also, humans are roughly equal in intellectual cunning and physical ability. Although physical and intellectual equity insinuates a positive order, it instead creates a struggle for equal self serving creatures such as humans. So, only threats to their individual security and human self preservation incite them to go into cooperative ventures. So, though the question is, why must humans be so pragmatic? Because humans are selfish creatures. Selfishness is embedded within our emotions and thought processes. And as humans, we will always be acting in a way that will benefit to us individually. So I believe that even when it seems that we are acting in compassion and kindness to others, beneath the surface, we are still thinking of ourselves. Be such actions a cause of emotional gratuity or some other form of intangible gain? In its essence, humans follow social contracts because of egoism or
Mhm.
self interest. And that concludes my speech. Thank you.
Thank you. You have consumed 2 minutes and 4 seconds. I now call upon the second affirmative speaker to present their main speech.
Second affirmative. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Oh, sorry. Second opposition team. My mistake. Sorry.
Okay.
Hello, hello, excuse me. Miss Obordo Lansang is the first affirmative speaker, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So please call the first negative speaker. Who is the first negative speaker?
It's me, ma'am. Lemuel
Who?
Morelos.
Oh, Morelos. It's your turn, Morelos.
Okay, ma'am. Hi, my name is Lemuel Morelos, and I am the first speaker to present the altruism in social contract theory. According to the social contract theory, that through the acceptance of rational and condition of other people, morality that governs behavior is agreed. The social contract theory's main point is about being governed under agreed moral and political obligations. If social contract theory is about living in harmony together, or providing an essential framework towards peace, then the root of laws, constitutions, standards, and norms whom humans have promulgated are showing altruism, or it is a belief or practice of selfless act that will benefit the others. If humans are egoistic in terms of survivability, then why are humanitarian laws existing? How come countries are progressing if humans are egoistic to the point of selfishness? That's all, and that's all for my first take on altruism. Thank you.
Thank you. You have consumed 1 minute and 11 seconds. I shall now call on the second affirmative speaker.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Lance Rivera, and I'm the second speaker of Affirmative Side. The characteristic of being overly self centered or otherwise selfish corresponds to egoism. On the other hand, altruism applies to the attribute of being totally selfless. The word egoism is also known as egotism. This concept may be described as the importance of being too conceited or self centered. A selfish person is typically disregardful of others and relies only on the individual self. With that said, people are wired to make or choose the decisions which are best for themselves. Examples of egoism is i- Examples of egoism in our social contracts is that first we likewise want stuff that is in short supply. We all search for simple needs including food, clothes, and shelter. If all of our physical needs in life could easily be fulfilled by reaching out and taking stuff from a branch, so there would be no reason to communicate with someone in confrontation. The truth of the case, though, is otherwise. Necessities are in short supply, and we soon come to see each other as competitors as we fight for the same items. Through violence, then, we attempt to subdue the people of men, women, children, and animals. The second cause of quarrel is that we instantly become distrustful of people who approach us after we obtain any products, and so we strike them. This is not only fear, but a necessary tool to defend the resources we have earned. When people win huge sums of money in a lottery, for instance, they are frequently threatened by con artists who will attempt to defraud them with shady investment strategies from their winnings. The more distrustful we are to strangers, the easier we can hold what we have earned. Ethical egoism centers on the perception that individuals support others as a means to develop themselves. The philosophy of social contracts describes the normative values that should govern individuals when assisting others. The- these aspects of moral philosophy essentially have a significant impact on the various social and legal effects of moral acts. This just shows and proves the point that egoism is necessary for the people so that one could achieve his or her dream. A person would not be able to succeed in life without having egotistic traits. It really matters that you must know and stand for what you want in life, fight for the things you aim to have. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. The time consumed is 2 minutes and 43 seconds. I will now call on the second opposition speaker.
Good morning, I'm Lance Elioso, and I'll be the second negative speaker. Selflessness cannot really be defined due to its selfless nature, that debunks studies such as stating that there are no true acts of selflessness. But in reality, it is an important core value in phases of a life such as marriage, friendships, and relationships, along with happiness and fulfillment that is sometimes taken for granted by the receiver of such act because it is a notion of kindness that adheres to the present social norms. It can be stated that most people act based on their own self interest and game nowadays in order to survive in a day to day basis. And more often than not, people who are happy and already satisfied in their current life, they are the one who forward this tranquility to others through the so called ultimate form of kindness, which is, sorry, which is the act of selflessness, Such people are naturally attributed by giving themselves in exchange for the happiness of others, and in itself they're part of true happiness, in which we forsake ourselves for those we willingly love and do anything in our power to reach out to them and listen with all our heart and mind to be connected to others by putting our compassion and empathy towards those people who needs it the most. They are the kind of person that becomes the light for others when everything seems to be dark and empty. Striving for selflessness have a lot of benefits towards our satisfaction in life. One of its factors being in a relationship where it's proven to improve due to the needs of both parties are being met. Additionally, it can benefit our spiritual and mental well-being as it is concerned with our inner peace. Also, being the giver can provide a whole new broad perspective on life where it helps to improve that we think of others and how the world see ourselves. In conclusion, selflessness can be in a way in life in order to provide us inner peace along with others. Through this act, there is still room for kindness in this harsh and cruel world that we live in. Such persons that give us peace shall be appreciated that helps the person in need a reason to survive. A selflessness is actually a benefit that affects both parties with no harm effects as it is an expression of true love. That is all for my speech. Thank you.
Thank you. The time consumed is 2 minutes and 18 seconds. The third affirmative speaker will now deliver the last speech supporting the case. Your 3 minutes start now.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Andrea Marquez, the third speaker of the affirmative side. And the topic of our debate is that in a social contract, actions are based on one's personal gain or egoism. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. Our first speaker told you that human beings will agree into social contracts precisely because they align to their self interest. This usually comes with a sense of security. Our second speaker supported the claim by stating that people are wired to make or choose the decisions which are best for themselves, thus, part of human nature. On the other hand, the first negative speaker has tried to tell you that social contract theory's main point is about being governed under agreed moral and political obligations, emphasizing the point of selflessness, which I believe is wrong. My position for this matter is that one way or another, social acts come from a place of self interest, be it from a place of survival or in exchange for one's security. Thus, a reason why individuals abide. Coming to think of it, one would consciously or unconsciously ask, what's in it for me? Otherwise, one would find oneself uncooperative of a social contract. While the second negative speaker would argue that selflessness comes naturally from a person with no pretentious feelings or whatsoever, this is not true. According to the concept of karma, doing good action stores up good karma, while doing bad action stores up bad karma. With that being said, one would usually go to perform good, since they know that in effect it helps him or her after doing so. In that case, the emphasis on what's to be gained on the part of an individual becomes more or less a priority in deciding which actions to take. That summarizes our point in rebuttal to the opposing side. Thank you.
Thank you. You have consumed 1 minute and 57 seconds. I now call on the third opposition speaker who will now deliver the last speech opposing the case.
I will represent Almachar, who created this rebuttal.
Noted.
Selflessness has a deep connection between the self and the spiritual self. The society considers selflessness as the ultimate form of kindness that no acts can surpass due to its attributes that are concerned more on the needs and wishes of others, which is being unselfish. Selfless persons will go beyond their own limits in order to fulfill the help required by others. The reason why they possess the characteristics of being a leader, such as being humble, open-minded, all ears, and being truly emphatic, they do not forget the fact that they are not alone in this world, that they believe any challenges can be overcome through helping hands as they face success and failure. Despite such situation, they are the rare kind of people that finds pleasure in the happiness of others. Thus, their happiness is satisfied true selflessness. I beg to differ on the said statement that there is no true selfless act. One good example is the selfless acts that have been done by our parents that brought us upon this world. Through ups and downs, no matter what situation they are in, one core values that they teach to their children is being kind to others. Our parents are the foundation of our livelihood that gave us the courage to step out in the world and conquer it based on the teaching of their limitless selflessness acts that we have observed throughout the life that we lived. That's all.
Thank you. You have consumed 1 minute and 34 seconds. I now call upon the third affirmative speaker to deliver the affirmative team's final rebuttal. You have 1 minute.
Okay, in rebuttal to third negative speaker, there's this saying that goes, there is no such thing as a truly selfless act, which I agree. According to a research study where 19 female volunteers had a choice, they could keep money or donate it to charities. The researchers found that giving money activated the same reward center in the brain that was activated when the participants received the money. The researchers called the benefit or a sense of warm fuzzies. This simply emphasizes our point at which a decision is driven usually by emotion, let's say specifically by guilt. Now, one would choose what he or she thinks or seems is good for others, but in actuality, one is doing it for his own relief from the feeling of guilt. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our team believes that naturally, in cooperation with the other, selfishness supports one's decisions. Thank you.
Thank you. You have consumed 56 seconds. I shall now call upon the third opposition speaker again to deliver the opposing team's final rebuttal. Your 1 minute starts now.
I believe that there is a true selfless act, and one good example again is the selfless acts that have been done by our parents that through us upon this world, through ups and downs, no matter what situation they are in, one core values that they teach to their children is being kind to others. Our parents are the foundation of our livelihood that gave us the courage to step out in the world and conquer it based on the teaching of their limitless selflessness acts that we have observed throughout the life that we lived. Thank you.
Thank you. You have consumed 32 seconds. Thank you for all your constructive remarks. Both teams have already addressed all their sides, which signals the end of this debate. Thank you so much to our audience for listening.
May I know who substituted Almacar?
Si Morelos po, ma'am.